Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight on the news, a generous donation is helping Lincoln firefighters stay in shape both physically and mentally.
Plus, a Lincoln bank is robbed this afternoon. The latest on the search for the suspect.
But first, police are also looking for a suspect in a fatal hit and run that happened here in Lincoln. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. New information just released this afternoon.
Lincoln police giving us the name and picture of the suspect in Saturday's crash on O Street, and they're asking for your help in finding him. Police are searching for this man, 28-year-old Gustavo Cardenas. There's a warrant out for him. They say he ran off after hitting another car at 37th and O Street Saturday night. 19-year-old Alexander Escra was killed. Police say Cardenas went into oncoming traffic when the crash happened. If you have any information, call Lincoln Police at 441-6000 or Crime Stoppers 475-3600. Lincoln police are also asking for help finding another suspect.
A man is accused of robbing a bank near 27th and Superior this afternoon.
About 12:14 p.m., U.S. Bank had a robbery that occurred near 27th Ticonderoga. Suspect arrived on foot, fled on foot. It sounds like he passed along a note, but no weapon was implicated at the time.
The suspect is described as a white male in his 30s or 40s with tattoos on his hands and neck. He was wearing a white undershirt with a flannel over the shirt and a beanie. Police will continue searching the area, but they say right now there is no threat to the public at this time. No word on how much money was taken, and fortunately no one was hurt. Now a story of taking care of our first responders.
Thanks to a donation, Lincoln Fire and Rescue will benefit from a recent equipment upgrade. Channel 8's Jessica Blum has more as we cover the capital city tonight.
Orange Theory Fitness of Lincoln donated 12 treadmills to Lincoln Fire and Rescue Wednesday afternoon. The idea was sparked by owner Jeff Lorenz's family.
Jeff's sister and mom own some Orange Theories in Omaha, and they have done this in the past with Omaha Fire. So this is where we got the idea.
Off-duty firefighters showed up to move the treadmills to a nearby training center for now.
We have 16 stations throughout the city, so these 12 treadmills are going to serve at least 12 of our stations.
These 12 treadmills, like the one you see behind me, are going to benefit local Lincoln firefighters, not only physically, but also mentally.
It's not just the physical piece for firefighters. Firefighters are exposed to a lot of stress throughout the day, throughout the shift. So this not only speaks to our physical fitness, but also to our mental well-being.
Treadmills like these are specially ordered for Orange Theory Fitness, getting serviced once a month with a lot of life left to give.
They're also really great on the body, so they decrease impact 40% than a regular treadmill. So that's a lot. It's great for joints, knees, hips, ankles, all that stuff.
In giving back to the community, Orange Theory intends to keep Lincoln Fire and Rescue in mind for future donations as well. Reporting in Lincoln, Jessica Blum, Channel 8 News.
Jessica, thank you very much for that story tonight. In other health news today, our local health department started giving COVID-19 vaccines to some of our youngest residents.
They held a vaccination clinic today for children under the age of 5. It ran until 4 o'clock this afternoon at the health department here in Lincoln. More are on the way. You might remember last month the FDA okayed the use of Moderna and Pfizer's vaccines in kids 6 months to 5 years of age. A full schedule of the clinics this week can be found on our website, klkntv.com. Across the nation, inflation is hitting some pet owners pretty hard.
Shelters are seeing a high number of dogs coming in. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez spoke with the Capital Humane Society to see what is happening in our area. Ariana?
Yes, unfortunately, the Capital Humane Society in Lincoln is seeing an increase in people surrendering their dogs. Inflation is not only causing issues with purchasing food, but also owners being able to afford training or the pet fee in their apartment complexes. The Lincoln Animal Ambassadors have been helping owners feed their animals as well as offer spay and neuter services for the last 14 years. But they have seen a drastic decline in the number of donations. The Capital Humane Society recently launched their PAWS program, supplying owners with food and offering veterinarian services. They have served over 80 animals in just 12 hours of operation. The need is there, and they are hoping to expand the services they offer along with the days they are able to help.
Last month, the month of June, was the most dollars that the organization has taken in a single month since July of 2014.
Surrenders for are going down and they are being adopted at a fast rate. Both the Humane Society and the Lincoln Animal Ambassadors are looking at ways they can expand and continue to help those in need in our community. And tonight on the news at 6, I'll talk about ways they hope to expand and how you can help keep our dogs in our community fed.
Looking forward to the rest of your story tonight. Thank you, Ariana. Today is the last day Nebraskans can sign petitions that will show up on the ballot in November.
2 of those petitions are for medical marijuana use here in the state. Volunteers have been working overtime collecting signatures over the last few weeks. As of this morning, they were still about 5,000 away from having just enough to get it on the ballot. The grassroots effort started with a mom doing what she can to help her son and others she has met along the way.
This issue is so incredibly important to their life. We have made a promise to them that we're going to do our very best, but that ends up being on Nebraska today. It comes down to Nebraskans coming together to help people who are hurting so incredibly.
Now, we should mention late this afternoon, an appeals court ruled on a lawsuit that could put this petition drive in jeopardy. We're going to look that over, take a closer look at it, of course, and have much more tonight on the news at 10 o'clock. Another popular petition in Nebraska is the one requesting voter IDs.
The Nebraska GOP headquarters in Lincoln had people coming in all day today signing the petition. There are a few other locations you can sign before time runs out. They didn't know exactly how many signatures they have, but a representative said he feels confident.
We're super excited. We've seen a hugely enthusiastic response, especially this last week, with many people coming through. Just this office, we have the voter ID petition effort has offices around the state, and lots of people who believe in election integrity who want to help us get this on the ballot for this fall.
Now, the GOP office did just close here at 5 o'clock, but if you'd still like to sign that petition, visit their website, citizensforvoterid.com, to see what locations are still open.
Let's go to meteorologist Rusty Dawkins now with your first forecast. Some areas tonight, Rusty, could receive quite a bit of rain.
That's right, and because of that, we have flood watches that are in place for a good portion of eastern Nebraska. Some spots that have already seen heavy rain, and then some areas that are just kind of prone to flooding could see that tonight. So a flood watch is in place for areas like Lancaster County, Odo, Cass, Sarpy, Douglas, Saunders, and areas north of there. So some heavy rain going to be possible from eastern Nebraska into portions of western and southwestern Iowa. And we're starting to see rain really bubbling up now. Just scattered showers and thunderstorms going on now, so nothing to be too concerned about. But a little further south, notice there's some heavy rain and some strong storms between Hays and Salina, Kansas. This is all eventually going to be pushing up to the north and northeast. But right now it's just warm. We won't say hot because yesterday it was hot, but we still have the upper 70s. Middle to middle 80s, and the dew point is in the 70s. So a very sticky feel and a heat index that's pretty high. We've got 80s and 90s for the heat index, 95 in Unadilla, 92 in Lincoln, 91 in Beatrice. So as we head through tonight into early tomorrow morning, temperatures slowly but surely drop into the 70s, likely the middle 70s, so another warm overnight. And that chance for showers and thunderstorms late tonight into early tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about that rain potential in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Rusty. We now have the latest in that deadly mass shooting at that 4th of July parade in Highland Park just outside of Chicago.
The death toll now climbing to 7, and we're learning more about how the suspected gunman carried out his brutal and senseless attack. Officials are saying Highland Park wasn't the only target for the suspect. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more.
The suspected gunman, who police say unleashed nearly 70 rounds on July 4th parade goers in Highland Park, Illinois, now being held in jail without bond. It comes as police begin clearing the parade route of strollers, wagons, and personal belongings of those forced to run for their lives during the chaos. Authorities saying today the alleged gunman's rampage could have been much worse, and that he contemplated an attack in Madison, Wisconsin.
The suspect observed the celebration here in Madison and decided not to attack the celebration for reasons undisclosed by the investigators. The FBI contacted the Madison Police Department and requested mobilization of our SWAT team, when we were subsequently informed that the suspect was already in custody in Illinois.
Robert Grimo III faces 7 counts of first-degree murder. Officials say dozens more charges are likely.
For each individual was hurt, people can anticipate an attempt murder charge as well as an aggravated battery with a firearm charge.
As police work to uncover a motive, growing questions about misread flags and whether the suspected gunman should have had access to a firearm. Illinois police say the suspect passed 4 background checks in 2020 and 2021, despite 2 prior police incidents, in 2019 when he threatened to take his own life, and that September when police say they confiscated knives after family members accused him of threatening to kill people.
There was never a firearm restraining order. That's what I have used the term red flag. That is an order where primarily family members and other individuals can go to a court and ask that somebody have their firearms taken and not be allowed to purchase firearms. To be very clear, that did not happen in Mr. Grimo's case.
Officials have now identified all 7 who were killed in the attack, and more than a dozen people remain in the hospital. The suspected gunman is due back in court next month. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Highland Park, Illinois.
Now we have a closer look at the victims of that tragedy.
All 7 people who were killed have now been identified, and we're learning more about who they were. It's just heartbreaking. 64-year-old Catherine Goldstein, remembered as everyone's best friend and a devoted mother. Also, Irana and Kevin McCarthy, also gunned down. Their 2-year-old Aiden found wandering the parade route after the shooting. Survivors Dana and Gregory Ring taking him in until he could be reunited with relatives.
He was saying, "Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy."
Every time I tried to ask him what his name was, the response he gave to me in return was, "Mama, Dada, come get me soon. Mommy's car come to get me soon."
Well, if that doesn't rip at your heart, right? They'd later learn his parents were killed. Tonight at 6, we'll learn more about the other victims who were killed in the shooting. Coming up, after several negotiations, former White House counsel Pat Cipollone will provide videotape testimony before the January 6th committee.
Those details in your full forecast after the break.
In Washington, the House Select Committee is preparing to hear new testimony from former White House counsel Pat Cipollone as soon as Friday.
Cipollone's deposition comes as the committee closes in on its final round of hearings into the deadly Capitol attack. ABC's Justin Finch is in Washington with more details.
After several public and private appeals and negotiations, sources tell ABC News former White House counsel Pat Cipollone will provide videotape testimony before the January 6th committee this Friday.
There are a lot of issues that committee members can get at regarding the former president's behavior in those critical hours and days around January 6th.
Cassidy Hutchinson, an aide to Donald Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, was the star of the last hearing, testifying under oath that Cipollone told her not to allow Trump to go to the Capitol on January 6th.
We're going to get charged with every crime imaginable if we make that movement happen.
And in Fulton County, Georgia, an ongoing investigation into alleged attempts by former President Trump and his campaign to change the results of that state's 2020 election. A special grand jury issuing subpoenas to 6 former Trump campaign legal advisors and South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. Graham reportedly held calls with Georgia's Secretary of State about its counting of absentee ballots. NBC asking Graham about those conversations in November 2020.
Why is a senator from South Carolina calling the Secretary of State in Georgia anyway?
Because the future of the country hangs in the balance.
Graham's attorneys say he's neither a subject nor a target of Georgia's criminal probe and plans to challenge his subpoena in court. That Georgia grand jury also said to be looking for more details about that tape call in which Trump is heard asking Georgia's Secretary of State to find enough votes to defeat Joe Biden.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes.
That Georgia special grand jury does not have indictment powers, but could send recommendations to the district attorney who could bring charges. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast from Nebraska's trusted news source.
So we've seen some heavy rainfall. Some spots saw 2, 3, 4 inches of rain last night, and we could see that again tonight. So there is a flood watch in place for the eastern portions of Nebraska, including Lincoln and Omaha. 1, 2, maybe 3 more inches of rain possible as we head through tonight into very early tomorrow morning. This expands into parts of western Iowa. So we'll see how much rain we get, and it's already starting to kind of kick up in some spots. Here it is. There's one isolated storm here just southeast of O'Neill. Scattered showers and thunderstorms for southeastern, extreme southeastern portions of the state, and then a little further south. I'll show you that here in a second, but here's 6th Street and Perkins in Beatrice. You can kind of see the clouds bubbling up in some spots. It's not as hot as it was yesterday, but it's still humid. Temperatures in the middle 80s for a lot of us. 85 in Lincoln, Beatrice, Friend at 85 degrees, so is Grand Island. A little cooler in Aurora at 83 and Hastings at 83, 87 in Hebron, just a touch warmer. But when you have temperatures like that and humidity like this with the dew points in the lower and almost the middle 70s, it's 74 in Nebraska City, 75 in Falls City, 73 Wahoo, Lincoln, York, Columbus, 72s in Beatrice and Aurora. So it's still very, very muggy out there. So the heat index, unfortunately, is just still up there. It's not like 106 like we had yesterday in some spots. I think we actually got to 109 yesterday in Lincoln, but it's still uncomfortable. 95 in Friend, one of the hotter spots. 91 in Beatrice, Lincoln at 92. Wish we had a breeze. It's kind of a breeze, a northeast wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour, and that's about it. So satellite radar, here we go. Just some scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder here and there. But the stronger part of this storm is down here near Hays, Kansas. Some severe storms with that. This is kind of moving to the east, but this is going to expand, and it's going to throw out outflow boundaries, and that's going to eventually initialize some showers and some thunderstorms. So here we go with Stormcast. This is 8 p.m. There's that storm system just to the south. This will expand, and by about 10, 11 o'clock at night from the Tri-Cities southeast to Beatrice, really starts to expand, slowly moves across. If you get caught under one of these cells, that's 1 inch per hour in some spots. This will eventually move off to the north and east. This is early Thursday morning, so it hasn't moved that far. Still lingering about as we head into very early tomorrow morning, and then that should be about it. Scattered showers here and there, adding to the precipitation totals through early Thursday morning. And then everything kind of moves on off to the east. Still a chance for some scattered showers on and off throughout the day. Not everybody sees precipitation, but the chance is there. Most of central and western Nebraska will be dry, but more storms start to come our way as we head into Thursday night, and that will be here by Friday. So lots of chances for precipitation. How much are we talking here? Anywhere from very little to just over an inch in Lincoln, maybe an inch in Beatrice, 2 to 3 inches a little bit further south. This could easily bubble up, and that's why there's that flood watch for eastern Nebraska. So mostly cloudy tonight. Storms are likely. 71 degrees for just about all of us, upper 60s and lower 70s. Tomorrow, about 86 degrees. Scattered storms on and off throughout the day, otherwise mostly cloudy. I think 85, 86, 87 degrees just about does it for all of us with that south wind. The next 7 days, temperatures in the middle 80s for Thursday and Friday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms on Thursday into Friday. Then the weekend, well, on the warm side, between 90 and 95 degrees Saturday and Sunday. It'll be dry, and I think the dew point will relax just a little bit. Then another small chance for storms on Monday, and then a whole lot of dry conditions Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week.
All right, thank you very much, Rusty. Some small positive increases on Wall Street today. The Dow gaining 70 points, NASDAQ is up 40. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight.
It defies gravity. That's what a Colorado amusement park is saying about its new roller coaster, Defiance. It's the highest looping coaster in the U.S.
Whew. That'll make your feet tingle there. According to the park, it has the steepest free fall drop in the western U.S. The coaster has 3 cars that sit 8 people each. It's more than 7,000 feet above sea level. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
That was your warning to look away if you don't want to see that, I guess. Which means you get magnificent views when riding while you're screaming, and it can go as fast as 56 miles per hour. The park is planning on unveiling it on Saturday, July 9th, so this Saturday.
I love roller coasters. Wherever we go, I want to ride them. The ones that go upside down and all that kind of stuff, and leave you hanging
daredevil.
at the top. I don't know.
You
What are
like
those?
them?
I don't get sick on them, so that's why I usually ride those. But anyway, let's talk about the weather. Could be serious for some areas, right?
Yeah, we have flood watches in place for a good portion of eastern Nebraska. 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of rain possible as we head through tonight into early tomorrow morning. And some spots have already seen a lot of rain, so if you see more rain again, that's going to lead to some flooding issues. Right now, it's just scattered showers in southeastern Nebraska, but all of that activity in parts of Kansas will eventually spread north and east, giving us a pretty good chance for some precipitation. 7-day forecast has temperatures in the middle 80s the next couple of days. Rain showers early Thursday, then again Thursday night into Friday morning, and then dry for the weekend. It's a pretty nice weekend, just a little on the hot side, but it is summer. Then our next chance for rain comes Monday of next week.
All right. Thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us.
World News Tonight is up next, and then we'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock. Have a great night.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
It's your day. Find happy. Make it a Capelli day. During Capelli Days at Amigos.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by